Hello, everyone. Um, I'm live here on TikTok, and I'm going to start going live more here and on my YouTube channel. So if you're not following me here, make sure you are. And then also make sure you're following me on YouTube because I just finished going there live and I was live for an hour and a half. I didn't even realize it. I thought it was only for a little bit of time. So anyway, welcome. If you're joining me now, thanks so much. Thanks so much. Okay, so I'm talking about who are you being? Everything always comes back to whatever you're experiencing in your reality. Who are you being? Because you're always manifesting. People who don't believe in manifesting, you're always manifesting. You're always creating. And whoever you are being, whoever you think you are, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're believing, your self-talk, your self-dialogue, whatever beliefs you have about your situations, who you are, the world outside of you, that's what you're pushing out. And that's what the world of the five senses is reflecting back to you. You're always in control. The trick with manifesting, with conscious creation, and what I teach, which is predominantly law of assumption, although I do throw in some law of attraction techniques, and they all work. It's just different roads to get to the same situation. The trick was by changing who you are within, and the whole wide world exists within you. You're always creating. By changing who you are and what you believe about yourself, the world outside of you will conform to reflect whoever you are being. You're always in control. You are always in control. When you understand this, when you know this, and you're able to transform your world and your universe, that is all self-concept, concept of self. Whoever you believe yourself to be, that is what you're manifesting. That is what you're creating. Everything is created in the mind as thought, as belief, and imagination. If you're new to this way of thinking, once you understand the law, and you fully immerse yourself into it and commit to it, you will transform your life. You will transform your life because you will transform who you are, because you're transforming everything that you believe and assume about yourself. You're always in control. Does that make sense? Let me know if you guys have any questions. I want to see if I'm getting any questions from you. I'm seeing everyone who's joined, and thank you for joining me. I'm going to be try going more live more. But more than anything, I want to be able to answer some of your questions regarding manifesting, because that's what I teach. If you're not following, make sure you're following me. If you have questions, let me know what questions you have. Let me see. Okay. So let me know. Yeah, anything that I can help you guys with regarding manifesting who you are being. So you've heard this before. I want you to understand it at the core. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you are. So you can want things, you can dream about things, but if you don't believe that you already are and embody this version of you, you're going to stay stuck in the cycle of what is. And here are some traps that I see people stuck in as far as you manifest what you are, not what you want. If you are trying to do all these techniques to bring an SP back or money or whatever situation, but you are still telling an old story from what happened to the past, or still seeing that person that you experienced in an old way based off of old circumstances, you are drawing those circumstances into your current reality. And you're staying on the hamster wheel of what is. In order to shift, in order to change, you have to change what you believe, what you're thinking about yourself, how you are imagining yourself and the situation. That's how it works in a nutshell, right? You change who you believe you are. That's how it works. I want to see, I'm trying to find the comments on here. Someone know? Okay, I see who joins, but I don't necessarily see the comments. Why is that? I don't know. Why am I not seeing your comments? Or is that just come? Can someone type something just to make sure to see if I'm able to see your comments or not? Oh, here we go. I see your comments. Comments should just be coming up at the, there you go. I do see your comments. Awesome. How to deal with health diagnosis. Okay, Myra, I understand health diagnosis because I went through something similar last year. And so I get it. If you're feeling bad, if you're physically not feeling well, it's easy to get stuck into the hamster wheel of what is. Here's what I did to transform that health diagnosis. I did a lot of sleep track meditations. Anytime, like either when I was falling asleep, I played them for an hour. It's hard to sleep with them all night long, but if you can do it, at least for an hour or two. If I got up to the bathroom at 4 a.m, I played a sleep track affirmation of I am healthy, my body is healed, my body is whole. There's a bunch of them on YouTube. I did visualizations. I did scripting of I am healthy, I am whole, it is gone. I affirmed and self-talked myself as if I had already gotten the diagnosis I wanted. I'm healed. This is leaving my life. I'm healthy, because your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between reality and imagined. So if you talk to your mind like you're already healed, like you already have what you wanted, that is what will be reflected back to you. That is what the 3D will conform to reflect. So speak to yourself like you're already healthy, like you already have. Imagine yourself healed and complete. What would it feel like if you already got that diagnosis? Who would you call? What would they be telling you? Visualize this and try to immerse yourself as much as you can in that energy and that imagination as much as you can. And that is what you will push out. That's what I did. And all last year I was dealing with a bunch of respiratory infections. So I started doubling down on I'm healthy. My this is on its way out. I'm healed. I'm whole. Releasing any pent up emotions that I had, because disease is really just suppressed emotions that we are not healing, that we are not healing implies you're not whole and complete, but a lot of suppressed emotions that we're not feeling, that we're not releasing. So I want you to ask yourself and ask your higher mind, what am I not willing to see? What am I holding on to? What am I not releasing? And then release those emotions, and then go to that body part and speak love to it. You're healed. You're complete. What are you feeling? Speak love. I love you. If you have never read You Can Heal Your Body by Louise Hay and You Can Heal Your Life, she talks all about this, and so does Dr. Joe Dispenza Healing. But the biggest thing is take yourself in imagination as if you were already the person who had the health diagnosis they wanted. Imagine yourself and see yourself as already healed. That's what will transform your life. Great question though, because I totally get the health, and you can change and shift anything. You can change and shift anything anytime you want. So you're not destined to a life of whatever is. So what else? What other questions you guys have for me? Yeah, that's the big one. Who are you being? Oh, there you go. Who are you being? Are you being the person who is sick? Because as long as you stay in the energy of I'm sick, you are on that hamster wheel and you're recreating that energy. So am I being the healthy version of me? You imagine and you talk to yourself as if you were already healthy. Who am I being? I am being the version of me who's healthy. You go into the mind and you embody, you imagine, you talk to yourself from this place, you think from this place as much as you can. You dwell in this energy. You generate this energy. You live from this energy. If you can hold it for 20 seconds, I'm healthy, I'm whole. What would it feel like? You start pushing that out, the world of the five senses will conform to whoever you are being. You in love, you wealthy, you abundant, you young, you healed, you whole, you complete. It all stems from you. Everything always stems from you. You're always in control. Yes? Does that make sense? Yes, yes, yes. Does that make sense? If you guys have any other questions for me, keep asking. You have me live here. I'm going to try to go live every Sunday and just be in touch with you. Thank you guys for joining me. I see all of you there. Yeah, so I a little bit about me. I got into, for those that know me and have been following for a while or don't, if you're new, I got into a law of assumption about 10 years ago, and I was going through a romantic breakup, and it really affected me. It brought out all my abandonment and rejection issues. So I found Agnes Vivarelli on YouTube, and she was one of the only coaches during that time teaching this stuff. And what it made me understand is that I was looking for a relationship to fill what I thought was a void within me, and there is no void. That's just a limiting belief. But I was looking for someone outside of me, a relationship, love, to give me the love and the sense of worthiness that I wasn't giving myself. So I took my attention off of the SP and I put it all on myself. And I started doing techniques. I started with meditation, guided meditations for self-love and self-worth. And I did them for a year. At night before I went to bed, in the morning, I had to do it, like self-hypnosis. those feelings of abandonment and rejection went away. The SP came back. I'm now married to him. I am a completely different person. And it was a journey back to me. I became the love of my own life. I'm not operating from lack or neediness or abandonment. I released, I don't want to say healed because I wasn't broken. I was operating from limiting beliefs. And the more you learn, the more you grow, the more you evolve. And then I thought, well, I could teach this stuff. And this is where I am now. And if I could do this, you could do this. We can all do this, right? Hi, Sleep Talking Sam. How are you? I see you guys. Very appreciated. Hello. Hello. I have a spinal cord neck injury, having surgery. Okay. So imagine yourself, you're having surgery. And I did this with a surgery I had in December. Imagine yourself like 2 weeks after the surgery. You're healed, you're whole. Talk to yourself like if you already went through it. And oh my God, I feel great. It went amazing. I'm healed. It was great. It was easy. Oh my God. Imagine yourself hearing the good news from the doctor. Imagine yourself, someone else telling you. Imagine someone telling you you're healed. Imagine as if it already happened. Take yourself to the place, to the wish fulfilled of having and being like you are. Do it before you go to bed. Do it in the morning. Doing it as much as you can. This stuff works. You're reprogramming your mind. Is there a meditation you did regular? I did Agnesis first. But you can do your own. I have some on my YouTube. If you go to my YouTube in my playlist, there's meditations. I have self-love, self-worth. I have self-concept. I have cutting cord. I have for wealth. I have for princess treatment. You can go there. They're free. They're short. They're no longer than 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Do it every day. The ones that resonate with you. You don't have to do mine. You could do other people's, but that's what I did. Just reprogram your subconscious mind. Self-love, self-worth. Everything usually stems from self-love, self-worth. I would start with those, but you could do self-concept as well. I do have some for self-concept, and they will transform your mind. And really, you're just operating from limiting beliefs that have been programmed into you from when you were a child. And you can reprogram those. We reprogram those through repetition. There's a lot of techniques. You can reprogram them in an instant, like when something traumatic happens, and then we get a belief and we're operating from danger or not good enough, not wanted. Or we can make an energetic decision and say, I'm no longer this person. You can command your mind, and it can happen in an instant, but usually it's through the repetition. Right? Overriding this old software, the old programming in our minds. That's how it works. And I did it with myself and countless other people. I have a business in networking marketing, and I'm struggling to attract clients that can't afford it. Okay, well, change the story. Who would you be? Who would you be if you were the person who already had the successful business? Take yourself to the wish fulfilled. If you were the person who had a successful marketing business and you had the clients and you were making the money, how would you be thinking? How would you be feeling? Imagine that, visualize that, talk to yourself. Man, people love to work with me. People love to pay me. I am successful. I love my clients. I'm getting clients from everywhere. It's successful. Imagine yourself and visualize this as if it's already happened, and talk to yourself. Your mind doesn't know the difference between imagined and reality. You talk to yourself from this place as if it's already real as much as you can. You dwell in this energy because you are this person, because that reality exists. You create it in the mind and imagination, and the world outside of you will conform. And you do this with whatever situation, always. Right? So I hope that helped. I'm trying to see what other questions. Thank you guys. Love this. Did that help? I didn't know about your journey. Yes, that's how I got into this. So you worked on your, I meditated for a year. I've been doing this for 10 years. I got into law of assumption for about 10 years ago. But I meditated for a year. I still meditate. The guided meditations. I still do sleep tracks when I work out. I don't listen to music anymore. I played the Rockstar affirmations. That's all subconscious mind reprogramming. I do it with wealth, with aging, with health, with body, and I'm just constantly playing them in my mind. But yeah, I've been doing this for when I got into law of assumption for about 10 years. Yeah. Hi, Patty. You fell off my algorithm, and even though I follow you, great to catch you. Oh, hi, Sassy. I think I fell off because I was traveling like 22. I told my husband this. For 2025 has been one big vacation for me. We've been out of town. We've been traveling. I was in Antarctica. We were in Uruguay, Brazil. We were in Uruguay, in Argentina. Then we were in Antarctica. Then we came back. We were in Vegas. Then we went to the Caribbean, and then we were in Europe. We were in Spain and in Sweden. It's like I get back in town and I leave, and then I'm leaving again. My husband's like talking to me about we're going here or there. So I've been traveling, and I kind of fallen off from posting consistently. I'm not posting. I should have. I used to post consistently 3 times a day, and I'm doing about 1 post a day. I'm trying to be more consistent with it. So please follow me, and that way I'm on your algorithm. So, and same thing with YouTube. And we're going to be traveling, but I've been saying this, and that was one of my like life goals, was to just travel the world. And I'm literally traveling the world. And it's as easy as just decreeing it, proclaiming it, imagining it real. And when I was out of town last year, if you all followed me on YouTube, you saw that I was posting from some of the places we were going to. And sometimes when I'm out of town, I haven't been. And it's just because, I don't know, my attention's been distracted. But I've been trying to. I promise I will post more and do more videos about where I'm traveling and where I am. So we're going back to Europe in May and a couple of other places. So just living my best life. And so I haven't been posting as much, but I do love doing this, and I do love teaching this. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for following me, Sassy, and anything I can help with. Nothing bad in my life. All good. Yeah, all good stuff. Hi, Patty. Yeah. The algorithm. Let's see. I also didn't listen to music. Yeah, I stopped listening to music and I'm very careful because everything is programming you. Everything is programming you, the music. If you're listening to, okay, let me ask you this question. Have you ever listened to music, depressing music, and it makes you depressive, or music that pumps you up and makes you work out? That's because the beats in there are programming your mind. Binaural beats, which tend to be a high vibrational, will program in your mind. Your subconscious will reprogram it. So pay attention to the music you're listening to that's telling you, you don't want me, you broke up with me, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. Like, I stopped listening to that shit. I work out with positive affirmation. I still like music. And in fact, I saw this from another creator who said that driving while playing music, because you're not really focused on the music and you're driving and your subconscious mind is listening to the music. So it's a good way to program your subconscious mind. So make sure you're listening to music that is uplifting and in programming you in a positive way. Does that make sense? Thank you. You're enjoying this life. Thank you very much. I'm glad. Glad to see you too. Don't worry, Sam. Go do what you need to do. I'm glad I got to say hello, and yeah, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for following. Any other questions that you guys have? Who are you being? Who are you being? I was doing this live about who you are being. Whoever you are being, however you see yourself, whatever identity you've created about yourself, that is what you're experiencing in your reality. So if your identity is based off of people treat me bad, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not chosen, those are the circumstances you're manifesting, you're aligning with. That is all self-concept work. You want to change your life, always bring it back to you. Who are you being? And that's a question I always ask. Who am I being? What am I believing? Is this true? Can I change this? And yes, you can change anything. Circumstances don't matter. You're not stuck. I want you to be very aware about what you make an identity. And some people don't realize it, that you make an identity about being the victim. I did a live on YouTube, and this this woman, was stuck in the energy of her boyfriend cheated on her and he did something to her, and she had made it an identity. It was almost in like, she can't reprogram and what he did to her and horrible. And I get it. Listen, people do horrible things. I'm not saying it's okay and it's not right and you don't deserve it. But you don't want to create a whole identity around this, because then you're anchoring that identity in, and you will keep on aligning and magnetizing people who will put you in a place where you continue to be the perpetual victim. And you're not. You're all empowered. You're all powerful. But we don't realize that we're doing this unconsciously and subconsciously. And you are able to shift out of this. Does that make sense? When does practicing law of assumption really kick in? What year did it fall? I mean, at first it's like a lot of terms that you're like, what does this mean? And I had to look them up. And then it clicked right away. Like, I got it, but then I didn't realize where I had blind spots. And we all have blind spots, and we're all always in process. But I got it right away, because when I got into this from a breakup. In a month, I started doing the self-guided meditations or self-love and self-worth. And the ex came back, who I'm not married to. He's now my husband. And our relationship is completely different. But because I changed, I took my attention off of him. So I understood the concept at a high level, like everyone is just me pushed out. What am I thinking? What am I believing? So then it was just fine tuning and then identifying the limiting beliefs and the awareness, and then learning the techniques and understanding how it worked. And then you just become better and better at it. Like when you first start going to the gym and you're not really good at it, and you just get better and better and better at it. That's really it. Like exercise, strengthening a muscle. But I got the concept of it, that I can shift and change this. I'm not stuck. And then I realized where I was very much stuck into, I didn't realize a lot of the traps for me was that I was still very much anchored in the old story. Even up until last year, I had a couple of experiences that I called in where I was playing the victim. And they did this to me, and I was still telling the story up until last year. And I still had the anger, because the anger gave me a sense of self-righteousness. And I had to get into, it was very hard for me to move into forgiveness and releasing and accept. And you don't have to forgive. Listen, if you've gone through something horrible, you don't have to. You don't have to be the bigger person. You can simply say, I don't want this person in my life. But what I had to do was, how can I look at this differently? What is this showing me about me? Where did I overgive? Where did I not set a boundary? Where did I wanted their approval, them to like me, them to validate me? And then I didn't need to get that from them. I had to give it to myself. And the paradox is that when you give it to yourself and don't search it and need it from people outside of you, when you make yourself a priority, when you put yourself on the pedestal, people naturally reflect it back to you. You naturally magnetize people in your life. When you're seeking it from other people, you're operating from lack. And so they're going to reflect to you the version of you that's not good enough, that needs other people to validate them. It's counterintuitive, but that's how it really works. It's interesting. Once you get that awareness, once you make that shift. You've been practicing for 8 months, and how's it going? Bengal Power, hello from Romania. Hi there. I have never been to Romania, but would love to go to Romania. Let me know how it's going. You've been practicing for 8 months. And what do you think? Have you always been such a good speaker? Yes, I've always been a very good speaker. I used to be a journalist. I was a TV news anchor for years. I've always been a good speaker since I was little. Those are my natural skills. And then I got into journalism, and I did hard news. And as someone who did hard news and was a TV news anchor, and I got into this very woo-woo stuff, I had these limiting beliefs about coming on social media and TikTok, and I'm 51, and coming as a grown-ass woman to talk about all these very woo-woo stuff. I was very fearful, and I was not embodying. Who was I being? I was being the version of me that was fearful and operating from fear and not good enough and not worthy as a coach, and people are going to judge me. And so guess what I reflected back? I had to fully embody and embrace myself as a coach. Look at the fears, let go of them, be okay with what is, not care what people think, and embody the version. And then I shifted the beliefs into, I'm a great coach. I'm a transformational coach. I help people. I love my clients. I have incredible clients. I'm changing people's lives. The work I do is transformational, and just embody. I had to get over that imposter syndrome, and I struggled with that in the beginning. But I've always been a good speaker. It was that the skills are transferable from when I anchored and talked to just teaching this. But it was very woo-woo. And now I'm like, whatever. I don't care what people say. I like the judgment. I don't align with those people. Does that make sense? Okay. I've been yeah, that's what happens in patches in my manifestation. Then it wavers because I get, okay. So anxiety, stop labeling it an anxiety. Like anxiety is just, and it 20, 30 years ago, it wasn't a thing. It's now everything's anxiety. You're creating that. The body follows the mind. So whatever you're telling the mind, your body follows. So why don't you tell your mind that you're calm? I'm calm. It'll be okay. That's just fear. Those are irrational fears that are not real. What are you anxious about? Bring those limiting beliefs to light. When you bring them to light, you realize they're nonsensical, and then they fizzle out. There's nothing to be anxious about. You're highly protected. You're divinely protected. You're safe and you're secure. Life always works out for you. Nothing to fear. What am I fearful about? What judgment from who? No one's judging you. You're judging yourself. And then don't label it as anxiety, because whatever you label, you grow the story. And I'm not a big fan of the therapy terms because the energy of the problem and the energy of the solution are two different energetic frequencies, and everything is energy. And listen, therapies, there's great therapists. I work with Kim Bellis. She's mentored me. I coach with her. She's phenomenal, but she's a therapist. It's now a coach. And the thing is sometimes therapy makes you believe that you're broken, you're born whole and complete. It's just a rewiring of the mind. And everything is just habitual thinking. Are there some people who do need it? Absolutely. Therapists are great and there's great ones. But for the whole therapy as a whole, and even with me, you go to therapy for years and nothing changes because there's this implication that you're broken and you're not. You rewire your subconscious mind and you go into the energy of the solution. It changes everything. It did for me. So I'm very careful with that. What you label as anxious. What is anxious? Well, learn to soothe yourself. Let me calm myself. Is this real? And then you talk yourself into calmness. I'm calm. I'm at peace. It's going to work out for me. And then you do that over and over. Hi, Patty. I always enjoy your videos. Best book recommendation. Yeah. Oh, best book recommendation. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Listen to him on audio tape by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Dr. Joseph Murphy is Breaking the Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Joe Dispenza is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. Powerful. And then this one I've recommended. This is about money, but you can apply it for anything. A Happy Pocket Full of Money. But I started with The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Frances Scovel Shin. She has Life is a Mirror, or the Game of Life and How to Win. And it's all about just flipping beliefs. And she just gives you examples over and over, but it simplifies them. So it'll give you an idea. You get examples. It's really good. They're easy reads. You can listen to them on audio tune. I have a list. Oh, I have a list of books you should read. If you go to my Stand store, it's a free list. Download it, and it gives you all the book recommendations that you should read on Law of Assumption. And they're all good. They've changed my life. How can you tell it's a 3D purge or birds before land? By the meaning you give it. I mean, everything's birds before land. Everything is birds before land. Like if you're seeing, okay, birds before land is, let's say you want a new car, right? And you're imagining yourself, you're creating a visualization of yourself already driving. And these are the things that I do. If I want a new car, I imagine holding the keys. I imagine and visualize myself driving it, the smell of a new car, the sound of the radio, the sound of someone complimenting me, hearing. I immerse myself in a visualization as if I was driving it, someone with it, and I engage in my five senses. And then if I start seeing that car in commercials, I see my best friend get it, my sister, or I don't have a sister, but someone I know has that car. I start seeing it everywhere. That's birds before land. That means it's making its way into my life. It's already, my consciousness is reflecting me. I'm seeing the signs of land before it's mine. So I would double down that, yes, celebrate it. It's on its way to me. If it's something that shows up again, a negative experience, and it shows up again, you didn't do anything wrong, it shows back up because this is a chance for you to handle it from the elevated, higher version of you. You can say, nope, this isn't true anymore. This is on its way out. It's no longer me. I release it. It's gone from my life. Or are you spiraling and saying, oh my God, this is back again. You see, it's not working. How are you responding? How are you reacting? You always have a choice. Oh my God, this doesn't work. You see, I'm not going to get it. I love you. If you're watching, I love this client. I'm not going to name names, but she saw her best friend. Her friends keep getting everything she wants, and she thinks she's not going to get it. And I said, that's a good sign. You need to celebrate it. But she defaults into, see, it's not working. And then, so she's anchoring in the not working. It's working for everyone but her. And I'm like, no. You got to stop that. You're on this hamster wheel of everyone but you. How come the law works for everyone but you? And it's right there. That's birds before land. So it's a sign. It's a good thing. It's making its way to you. You got it. It's yours. Celebrate it. It's fizzling out, the not having, the not getting. Let that go. You have to shift. You have to brainwash yourself into believing that it's already yours. Yeah. Hi, Patty. How long does it take to the 3D to catch up? It just depends. It could be, You shift automatically in your mind. When you automatically shift and you know that knowing within, then you won't even ask that question. You're not looking for evidence. If you're still waiting for the 3D to catch up, you're needing evidence. That means you haven't shifted yet. So shift within and it'll conform. I mean, it'll conform with ease. There's no timeline because time is just an illusion. Time doesn't exist. So in your mind, when you step into the version of you who has it, you allow and you trust, you have faith. You don't need proof. You don't, time is an illusion. You just know that it'll conform. You trust it. You detach and you move, right? It's instantly though. So in the 3D and the now, because the 3D is now, whatever you're experiencing now, if you've quantum shifted and quantum jumped into having with certainty and with knowing and with faith that you've detached, then you're open and you know, you have a knowing. You're not looking for evidence. If you're still looking for evidence, that means there's still doubts. There's still like, okay, am I going to get it? Let's see. Which is kind of a trap. That's a way you can counter manifest because you're operating from, okay, am I getting it? Right? So just trust in the unseen. You have to trust. Even when the 3D is showing you the opposite. In fact, the opposite is good. That means there things are moving and changing to reflect you, to support you. It's funny. I'm a calm person. When the manifestation shows up, I think exactly. Yeah. Well, when it shows up, be like, of course it did. Of course it did. Yes, thank you. And more is on the way. I'm getting it, of course, because everything works out for me. Everything works out for me. I always get what I want. I always get what I want. I always get what I want. I try, like, I don't look, I'm like, "Meh, I'm gonna get what I want. I just trust. And I go back into who am I being? The calm, peaceful version. I mean, you do this long enough, you operate from calm and peace. That doesn't mean that I don't get upset. Listen, I can like something can trigger me in the 3D and then I'm like, ah! And then later I'm like, okay, ooh, I didn't like the way I reacted to that. And then I'm like, okay, but circumstances don't matter. No one remembers. It's forgotten. It's gone. It's the past. So it doesn't matter. It didn't affect anything. And I'm able in the now to change the meaning. I get to change the meaning. I get to tell a new story that always benefits me. Those are just examples. Yeah. So let's see. I'm trying to think of like where I'm like, why am I so bogged down and beating myself up for something that doesn't matter. The past is dead and gone. So why don't I give it a positive meaning? Everything's working in my favor and this doesn't matter. I get to say what matters. Okay, what are you asking me? Let me see. I'm not good with visualization for a new partner. What do you recommend? What do you mean you're not good with visualization? The new partner. What is it that you're visualizing? Is it you want a new partner? You don't have a new partner? Do I have speech classes? I mean, I took them, I think, when I was young. I think I just because I was a journalist for so long. I'm asking, let's see, Madalena, I want a new one. Okay. I want you to imagine, Madalena, think of a blue car. Imagine a blue car right now. Can you imagine a blue car? Can you imagine a yellow bird? Can you imagine a red sign? Can you imagine a white shoe? So if you're able to imagine those things, you're able to engage your imagination. You are the one telling yourself that you can't visualize. So if you can imagine that, then you can imagine, and we're always engaging our imagination. Anytime you're deep, there you go, you did. Anytime you are defaulting to worst case scenarios, you're visualizing. Except you're visualizing for worst case scenarios. You're visualizing for the worst is going to happen. Anytime you're scaring yourself, you're engaging your imagination, you're defaulting to worst case scenarios, and you're visualizing. You just have to do that for best case scenarios. And here's how you do it for a relationship. Have you ever seen anyone get married? I want you to imagine a wedding. Imagine it right now. Last wedding you were in, that you were at. Now I want you to imagine that you're the bride in that scene. First person, you're seeing it from the first person, and you're wearing the white gown. Imagine that beautiful white uh, wedding dress. And then imagine whoever the man is. You don't have to put a face to him. The groom's next to you and he's holding your hand and he's telling you he loves you. Imagine that. Feel good about it. He's telling you he loves you. You're the one and only. And then he touches your ring and says, "Do you love your ring? I love you so much." That's a visualization. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. It's creating the scene in your mind like a movie scene where you're in first person and you hold that state of feeling good about it for 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Feel how good it feels to be there on your wedding day in your white dress. You feel the ring on your hand, your groom next to you, and he's telling you everything you want to hear, that you're so beautiful, that you're the most beautiful woman he's ever seen, that he's so in love with you, that you're the love of his life. And then you're holding hands, and feel what it would feel like to hold his hand. Hear the sound of wedding bells. Hear birds chirping. You're walking together. You've just said your vows. You're walking down the aisle, and then hear the sounds of everyone whispering, "Oh my God, they're so beautiful. They're an amazing couple." That's a visualization. Feel how good it feels to have experienced that. Hold that state that you feel. Do you feel good right now? Hold that state as much as you can. Hold it and feel good and feel like it already exists. It's already yours. That's a visualization. That's a visualization. They're as simple as that. You could do that with a car. How long do you do visualizations? How long do visualizations take in different on the situation? What do you mean? How long do they take to become real, or how long do you hold them for? You can hold them for 30 seconds, 20 seconds. I think Abraham Hicks says 17 seconds. Excuse me. But you want to hold it because it's holding the state. You're dwelling in that energy in the state, and you're taking yourself out of the state of not having and being. Who are you being? You're being the woman. For it to become real, it becomes real instantly when you imagine it, when you have certainty, the feeling and knowing that it's yours. It becomes real instantly in your mind. You have the peace and the knowing that it's yours. You live from that place. And then you just allow, you have to allow. It just depends. Right? It just depends. Time is an illusion. So in the mind, when you know something is done, like when you plant a seed, here's an example, here's an analogy. When you plant a seed in the ground, for those of you that garden, you have to give it time for it to bloom, for it to be watered, the plant or the fruit will come out. But there's a knowing and a certainty and a trust and a belief that you have that it's done, that you planted it. You just have to nurture it and work it and love it and take care of it. It's kind of the same with the seeds you're planting in your mind. And the 3D is just conforming to reflect whatever you're imagining and whatever you're telling your mind. Excuse me for all the coughing. But you'll have to trust and believe, trust in the unseen, that whatever you're telling the mind is already yours. It's already done and it's already yours. It's already yours. No. It depends if you're obsessed from lacking. You can visualize over and over if it makes you feel good. If it's moving and shifting you to a state of feeling good, you're fine. If you're shifting out of obsessiveness because you're operating from lack and you don't have it now, then you're still operating from lack. You want to feel good. It's all about who are you being? Dwell in the state of having and being and trusting. You can detach. And the detachment is from the need that I have to do anything to make it happen. I just have to trust and then be guided. You have the inspired action, right? You have the nudges, the intuitive nudges. Take the next right step. What feels good? How do you know you're moving in the right direction? Because you have peace about it. You're not doubting. You're not asking. You don't need proof. When you know something is done, you don't need proof, you don't need to ask. You have an internal knowing. And we all have an internal compass because you're connected to God, to source, the God within you. The more you get still and connect to that God within you, the more you will be intuitively guided from within about what to do, what to say, what's right for you, what isn't. You don't have to ask every person, am I doing this right? You will automatically be connected to that power, the power that creates worlds. You're an expression and an extension of God. So, I don't know, obsessed. I visualize all the time. I imagine myself. I may not have it in the 3D yet, but I know it's mine. And I do it because it makes me feel good. I imagine myself because it's mine. It's just reaffirming and reaffirming, reiterating, and anchoring in the version of me who has it and is it. Because it's done. And I always get what I want and everything works in my favor. Everything. Always, always, always. It's already yours. And you can't mess it up. Does that make sense for you? As in, we can't visualize every day. Oh, you can. I would say do it every night as you're going to sleep until it's real. I did. I mean, not every night. When it felt, sometimes I'd forget or whatever. But don't go to bed in fear because when you go to sleep, your mind's in theta brainwave state, and it's all imprinting on your subconscious mind. So you want to command your mind. You want to fall asleep to images of you having and being and doing what you have. When it feels natural for you to detach. If you feel like it's done, if it feels good to you, then fall asleep to that. Yeah, visualize every day. There's no like concrete formula. I say do it every night. Do it every night. Do it every night until you feel confident and secure with it. And then detach when you're ready. This manifesting stuff is very intuitive. It's how does it feel for you? Yes, it's all done. Nothing to worry about. It's all done. But I would still, there's things that I visualize for and I trust and believe. And then I just visualize. I'm like, well, it doesn't hurt. It's not hurting. I visualize. I did for my husband now. I visualized and I did it. I did it for several weeks. And then I just imagined over and over. And from the time that I began imagining us married, it was a couple of months. And then he proposed. And then I started planning the wedding right away. But my visualizations were us 1 year anniversary, like implying that I was already married. Right. And he proposed out of the blue, just so you know. He proposed out of the blue. In fact, we were having a conversation and I'd kind of gotten mad at him and he's like, what? I'm getting ready to propose to you. Do you trust me to buy the ring or do you want to go with me? And I was like, no, I'll go with you. And then I planned the wedding. We got married months later. And you want to know how your consciousness speaks to you. I had someone tell me that he was going to propose. He was going to propose to me like in the summer. And I think I had started visualizing months before, but in the summer, someone told me he's going to propose to you like in September. And he did. We're going to be married 5 years now. So, but the timeline of when I started. So it just depends. But I trusted. I never doubted. I just trusted. I'm like, it's going to happen. And I kept visualizing. Yeah. Try it. Yeah. And don't put a time on it. Just do it because it feels good, because it takes you to the state of certainty and knowing and believing. And, this is something recently, not recently, but I would say in the last year, I'm the operant power. You're the operant power, but people don't have free will in my reality. People don't have free will. I get to say what is. I command the 3D. So I've started commanding, and it shows up in my reality. You have to really 100%. At first, when you start with law of assumption, the same for me, like you test it to see if it works. And then you start seeing results and you commit more to it. And then this was part of my process. And then do people still, people show up in a way that you don't prefer, but then I'm thinking, okay, but I'm still imagining in imagining them in this way. So then I saw this somewhere, a video came up somewhere reminding me that no one has free will. I'm the God of my reality. I'm an extension of God. So why don't I decide to see him the way that I prefer? And so I embrace this, that no one has free will. I get to decide who they are. I assign people roles. They're just reflecting the role I have created, the story I have created in my mind. I'm the one creating the meaning. I'm the thinker in my reality, no one else. And it's the way it's playing out. People don't have free will. So play with this. You're good. You guys got it. So anyway, I've been on for an hour now, I think. Yeah, I've been on for an hour now. I'm about to get off. Ask me, I'll take one more question, and then make sure you're following me here and on YouTube. I'm going to be doing lives on these channels more and more often on Sundays, and I'm going to be more consistent with my lives. And more consistent with my posting. Like I said, I'm traveling. I have a lot of travels this year with my husband. And have a great life. And I reaffirm, I proclaim that I love my life, and I proclaim it and I visualize it, and everything and anything that shows up is always benefiting me and working in my favor. And imagine big, dream big. Make sure you're following me here on my Instagram and my YouTube, my TikTok. Make sure you're following me. Thank you all. Just wanted to say you're very helpful. Thank you. I'm glad I can help. I'm showing you that you control your reality. Do we need to do self-concept or just let the vision? Well, that is all self-concept. Whoever you're mad, I mean, to me, manifesting is all about who you believe yourself to be, which is concept of self, which is all identity work. However, there are just different ways to define it. Whoever you believe yourself to be. If you believe yourself to be single and not chosen, that is your self-concept. So you want to change your concept of self as the person. Remember, who are you being? My concept of self is I'm in a marriage. I'm loved. I'm adored. I'm wifey. I have an incredible husband who loves and adores me. I'm chosen. I'm in an incredible, juicy, loving relationship. We're closer than ever. Yeah. So that is you changing your concept of self. That is all self-concept work. Who am I being? That's why when something undesired shows up, who am I being and who do I prefer to be? It's all self-concept, the identity that I have of myself. And we all have an identity. If you get very clear, I want you to get clear and ask yourself, who are you being? What is your identity? We all have an image of ourselves, and I want you to think about the labels. I had to do like cleanup with the labels. I'm big boned. It's just the way I am. And family is very good about projecting their labels onto us. So everyone in my family is this way. Well, says who? Your family who's not healed and whole and complete. Okay. Well, no, I don't take my family's guidance. My mom, I love my mom, but she doesn't practice this. And my mom lives in fear. She's very religious and she operates from fear. And when I got into this, I had to do a lot of deprogramming from my mom's limiting beliefs, including my body and my shape. And she's a very thin, naturally thin, skinny person. But since I was growing up, she was telling me that I was shaped like my dad and his sisters, which is more Latina. I'm Latina. I speak fluent Spanish, but that was my body type. So up until recently, and I turned 50, and not that I don't struggle with, I don't even want to put that out there, but I was deprogramming all these beliefs. And I'm like, where did I get this? Oh, mother, that this is the way I was, that she projected this belief. Says who? My mom? Well, no, I get to decide the way my body is. And I'm a lean, active, athletic person. I'm thin. I have a fast metabolism. I'm healthy. So as I was deprogramming all these limiting beliefs regarding my body and my health, it included how I process food, how I eat, the shape of my body, who I choose to be. My mother doesn't get to say. So those are all labels that I'm like, no, this doesn't serve me anymore. I'm releasing all of this nonsense. Nope. So I get to say what my beliefs are, not what my mother projected on me. So just be careful with those labels, right? And that is all self-concept because I had an identity and a belief that this was my body type. Says who? And maybe it is, but we can all change our body. And I've changed my body type. I used to be more pear-shaped and now I'm more hourglass shaped and I'm athletic. And there's times where I've been skinny and I thought, well, sis, I'm skinny. Well, do I want to be skinny or do I want to be healthy? And so I had to be very careful in how I choose to define myself. And women, not just, I mean, men can do this too, but we can define ourselves and stay stuck in labels. Says who? And is this true for everybody? Because I have seen people change their body type, so I can change my body type. If it's not true for everybody, then it's not set in stone, and I can shift and change anything, including the way we look. So I've started playing with all of that and releasing all of that, just to help you guys. Okay, well, stop saying things are hard, because when you say things are hard, you're proclaiming that. It's just that you're reacting because that's been your habit and your pattern, but you're changing that. I'm shifting and changing this. I'm choosing to be non-reactive. And then anytime you were non-reactive, celebrate it. Yes, I did it. I'm getting better at this. I'm doing it. Stop. I hate when people say things are hard. Oh my God, stop saying things are hard. With my clients, stop. When you say things are hard, guess what you're anchoring in? Yes, universe, give me more of making it hard. Shift your language and what you're proclaiming. It's easy. Listen, reaction's okay. It's not a bad thing to react. If you overreact, give yourself a break. Okay, I could have handled it better. Doesn't matter. And then when you handle it better, celebrate yourself. Yes, I did it. I'm smart. It was easy. I did it. The expression? Which expression? Just say it's easy. It's easy for me. I'm able. Whatever you proclaim, whatever identity you have, and you're claiming this is hard, you're making it an identity. Stop making it an identity. Things are easy for you. You're easy. You're able to tell your mind. You're able to command your mind. It's easy for me. I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it. I'm shifting this. I'm changing this. It's something I'm working on, but it's getting easier and easier. It's getting easier and easier. It's getting easier for me. I'm becoming more aware. I'm becoming stronger. I'm controlling my thoughts. It's getting easier for me. I love myself. I choose myself. I make good decisions. I'm reacting better. Give yourself a break. Speak love and kindness to yourself. Stop beating yourself up. And take the words out. If I could take those words out of it, things aren't hard. You make them hard. Okay. I manifested my SP, but then he removed me from social media. Did I do wrong? You didn't do anything wrong. You're making the SP the center of your world. Who cares what he did? Take your attention off of him and focus on you. First of all, stop saying you did anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. You can't do anything wrong. Stop making him the center of your world. Take your attention off of him. This is about you. Who are you being? If you were the woman who's always chosen, always wanted, always loved, amazing, irresistible, you wouldn't be worried about what your SP is doing. You'd have certainty in knowing that he's coming back because you know you're amazing. There's no one like you and he can't live without you. Then you would align those thoughts with your beliefs and your actions. If you were the woman who knows her worth and value, you would not be checking on him. You wouldn't even think about him. You would be indifferent to who he is, and you would be living your best fucking life. And from that place, from the highest version of you, you become so magnetic, he will come back. I know it's counterintuitive and that's a paradox, but when you take the attention off of him and give yourself the love and attention that you want, you become so magnetic, you naturally attract everyone and anything into your life. You don't need him. He's not the source of your worth and value. You are. We make an SP is a specific person. SP means your specific person, whoever it is that you want. They're not the source of your worth and value. In fact, be happy that he left your life because you had this awareness of how important you were making him in your life. He doesn't get to determine your worth and value. You do. Stop saying you were ghosted. He had to leave because you had to work on you have to change the stories around these situations. You give these people too much power in your life. You're the one giving it meaning. He left your life because you had to work on yourself. I have to work on myself. I have to be better. I have to be the version of me who's confident and secure. And when they come back, of course, they're going to want to be with you because you're amazing. They're not the source of your worth and energy. You have them on a pedestal. And I don't get, in my reality, I don't get ghosted. Nope, not in my reality. I'm an incredible person. People always come back in my life. People always come back into my life. I leave a void. In fact, my energy is so big and impactful. And I generate that love and sense of worthiness within myself. I don't need some ex to validate me. I move on. And listen, when someone's an ex, I move on with my life. I become the love of my own life. Become the love of your own life. And from that place, you become so magnetic. When you're waiting for someone, you have him appear and he left you, you're operating from lack and need. And as long as you're operating from lack and need, You're in chasing needy energy, and that repels people. Who are you being? You're leveling up. Always, we only have the now. Speak as I am. Who are you being? Right? I'm trying to see if I missed some manifesting, but then who cares if he removed it? He's going to come back. All right, my loves, I'm going to get off now. Sending you all love every Sunday. Watch out. I'm going to be live every Sunday. Make sure you're following me and ask me questions. I'll send my videos and I'll do videos on how to reprogram. And and it's a fantastic self-concept manifesting book. It's in my stand store, but also I have a list. I have meditations. I have the list of books you should read. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Everything is just programming. Everything is just programming. Don't let culture and society programming you. Okay? All right, my loves. I'm going to let you go, and I will see you all on the next one. Thank you for joining me. And then I got to figure out how to do this, right? Here we go. Wait.